everybody, it's me, Margaret, and I am so excited about doing this tutorial for you guys. It is one of my most inspired looks of the runway shows of the most recent fashion week. In particular, this was a Marc Jacobs look that he did for the runway of his show in the last recent fashion week. And I'm going to do my take on it as well, because I don't obviously like to duplicate exactly, because I'm just the way that I like to do things. So anyway, I'm going to just explain to you real quick that this is not an easy look, and it's definitely an advanced look. So don't expect to get results if you've never done makeup before and you try this look. If you know how to do makeup, then you'll have fun with it, but this is definitely a look that you'll have to practice, and it looks easier than it is, let's put it that way. I teach my advanced students at MKC Beauty Academy these kinds of looks literally, after almost like going into 10 weeks of training. So just imagine. But I know that there's a lot of great novices out there, and this is such an amazing look, so definitely try it out. Anyway, so as you see, I'm putting the foundation and concealer and color corrector on, and I'm just working in with my brush, my foundation brush. I tend to use a small one. I'm going to go over the lids and, just making sure that I get every area covered. And then I'll be definitely blending it in with a sponge. I use a lot of tools. So, one of the things is people have their ways. But, for me, I like to apply product on with a brush. And then I like to usually blend in with either my sponge or my fingers. I use it all. So there's no holds bar in that sense. The most important thing is that you get the results. And that's really what I want to make sure that we all stress. My technique is very, very, very particular. I also created a technique called shadows and light. So I use a lot of those techniques in tricks of the trades, if you will, within the way I teach. So if you are interested in learning, there's definitely ways of doing different techniques, and so you can either watch this or, definitely, I teach as well, so don't forget to contact me if you want to learn from me personally. Now, what I'm doing is I'm using my Dampen Beauty Blender sponge, which I love, but you can use a latex sponge. You can even use a foundation blending brush. That's fine. Whatever works for you. I say there's no rules to makeup. There's just one rule, is that you want to get to the final end product with quality and expertise. That's really what you want to achieve. Flawless, beautiful makeup. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just creating a really flawless canvas, and that is my first point of view. No one could really do flawless makeup ultimately if the base and the foundation of the makeup doesn't look good. I think it really starts from the grassroots. And it's just like, almost like, if you are an architect, you can't just design a house on any place. You got to find the right place. You got to have the right structure, so it's really the same kind of premises. And with the style that I teach, and with this kind of look, with fashion print, we really focus on, this is like the true high definition application. And it's all about architectural, it's all about design, it's all about clean detailing. So, with me, you're going to see probably a little bit more detail than just regular application. So that's why, when you're doing photo work or print work or runway, they're going to look for detailing work from the artist. And that's really important, just making sure that you look at the detail and your level of architecture, your level of design, your level of making sure that you can make the person look their best. That's really one of the key things. So I'm setting the foundation that I just blended in, and I'm using my wedge sponge dry, and I'm actually using that as a powder because I don't like sometimes to have super duper duper powdered look, and this really just adds just the right amount, and it blends it right into the base without making it sit on top of the skin, which is really good. And these are many tricks of the trades that I will definitely, you know, talk about and definitely you know, use in my techniques. So as you see, I will never ever, I won't say never ever, but I would say most of the time never set the eyes before I do the shadow work, because if you set the eyes with powder and then you apply shadow powder over it, it's not going to get the same level of payout when you put the powder on, because the powder kind of creates a shield. So I'm using my complexion brush. This is one of my most favorite treasured brushes in the world. It works as a powder brush, but it also blends and sets everything beautifully. And it's such a great brush, and as you can see, it's pretty old. I've had it for a long time, and I just love it. It's my signature brush. So, and it just creates such a flawless finish, such a beautiful blended clean look. Now you can see the eyes are creased because it's not set, but we will fix that, I promise you. I'm so excited about doing this look for you guys, because this look is definitely one of those looks that when I saw it, because I really study all the shows and all the makeup, and you know, every time there's a red carpet event or, you know, award show or premiere or fashion week or anything, if I can either be in the city to see the shows, or if I see anything that is, you know, trend-worthy, I definitely study it and I get inspired. And that's really what it's all about. But I like to also create my things. And these are how trends are made. And these are how people get inspired, you know. And I watch a lot of old movies and listen to a lot of different artists, and, you know, and then I get inspired. So that's really one of the key things that we all have to do to keep inspired. One of the things that we don't realize when you are creating is that your connection to your inspiration is so vital, so vital. So make sure that you really get inspired before you actually do any kind of look or design any look, because that's going to help you execute some crazy looks. And this is one of those looks for me. So what I did was I used my finger and I just blended down the base because I didn't set it, and just made it really smooth. So I'm taking my rounded flat brush. So if you can see, it's rounded and flat. And what this does is it's a great brush that helps you create, you know, you can create a nice structure with it, but also the flat brushes are great to lay color down. And I really want a strong pigment with this. So I'm creating that smoky. I'm using like a very toasty brown, espresso brown on her lid. But this is definitely going to be a build up look. Okay, so I'm just warning you, it's not going to be compared to the other looks that I have on my video. This one's much more complicated. So now, as you see, I'm just small little strokes. I'm putting the brown and designing. I'm actually creating the design and the shape while I do that. So just making sure that the level is really there too. That's really important. Okay, so I'm just creating that. Okay, so that's one step, and then I want to work on the other eye. Oh, I didn't do that, so let me just smooth that out real quick. You don't have to always smooth it out, but you can just make sure you smooth it out while you put it on, so that way it doesn't have that really weird heavy line on there. Okay, so I want to match this up. I always do both eyes at the same time because, you know, honestly, that really makes the balance so much better. For me, it does. And then there's another thing too, is that when you look at somebody's makeup for a long period of time, you really need to walk away, close your eyes, look at the wall, look at another picture, look at another person, cute puppy, whatever. And then you go back to the face that you're working on, and it gives you a new perspective. Really important, because you kind of lose perspective. and I call it makeup vertigo. You get really, really kind of entrenched in the eye, and you don't look at the whole face. So really, really important to see that. Now I'm gonna go over this a little bit more with just covering up a little bit. Now I didn't use fallout powder because for some reason I'm using very light, a light creamy powder. It's not really heavy like a loose powder, so I wasn't so afraid of the flyaways. So I'm taking my rectangle flat brush, and I'm sculpting. So as you see, I'm taking that brown part of the inner lid, and I'm just blending it up, blending it up, blending it up. Now I am putting the pearl highlighting right on the brow bone. So remember, this is a really special look. It's not like your typical look. And this look, I'll tell you, their theme was Asian infusion. And it's taking from like the old Susie Wong kind of 1930s inspiration, and modernizing it with the, like the Asian kind of pop look. So this is kind of the best of both worlds. So as you see, I put the pearl on the highlighting bow, and now what I'm doing is I'm putting a taupe right in the inner part of the crease. In the inner part of the eye near the crease, and then I'm pulling that all in so that it creates a gradation. Now, you guys, this is part of the building, so you really have to follow these steps, because otherwise you're not going to get the same impact. Every part of the detail of this look is really vital. So see how it's building up, and then you're going to keep going back on, just from one thing to another. And I'm using, actually, this is called, just layering the texture. So now I'm using a gel black liner, and I'm using a very blunt, squared off flat brush, and I'm just going right on the lash line, and I'm just pulling that out ever so gently, just a touch out, just to give it a little slight kick, not too much. You don't want to overemphasize, but just kind of, you want to blend that all in together, kind of streaking it out a little bit. And you'll see, when you see the final finish with this look, you'll see what I'm talking about, all the levels of it. Now, keep in mind, this is a very Asian influence look, okay? And I'm not saying that because I'm Asian, but it was such, to me this is more like deco. This is a very deco inspired look. It's very provocative, completely creative, and yet wearable. And that's why I love this look, and that's why I chose to do this look for you guys, because I know I've been doing a lot of looks that are inspired by celebrities and musicians and what have you, but to me this is a look that is from a more artistic point of view, and I think this is something that's going to definitely inspire you all to try different things, because there's only so much standard smoky eyes you can do. I want you all to be able to express yourself and create more character in the way you do your makeup, but definitely make it look so beautiful and wearable. So I just went underneath the eyes. Karina's eyes are starting to water. Okay, close your eyes, Karina. Okay, and then I'm just going to go and blend that and smudge that up just a touch. And yeah, she's starting to tear up a little bit. So, and one of the things that I want you all to understand is, when anyone has any tear problems, fix it right away. Don't let it linger, because it's just going to smudge. And see, she already kind of creased her eyelids. But that's okay with this, because we're still building. And we're going to fix that and blend that in a little bit right here. I'm just going to blend. Just work fast, especially when you're using gel liners. I tend to work with gel liners that have a little bit more blendability. I don't like those type of gel liners that really dry up fast. I'm just adding a little bit of dark right on the lid now. And see, I'm just gonna add that. See how I'm just telling you, it's like it's all about building, building, building. Just get a little bit right there, because you're gonna see what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be crazy. How it just all will meld together really beautifully. And when you're building like this, and then you add the 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 main shadow or the color or whatever, when you're doing any kind of, because it's going to have a metallic glow afterwards. One of the things you have to understand is, I just spilled, so I'm going to use a little cape on her. I'm doing the fallout powder right now because I'm going to really go into some pigment, and I'm using loose powder. This is what the cool thing is, that I've been wanting to show you guys. So when you're doing dark colors, but you want to create more texture, you have to really build in order to get the proper payout. So as you saw how I just built up from the brown, and then I added more of the dark brown to the black, and then I'm just building it up and then blending, blending, blending. Okay, so now I'm putting the fallout powder here, and I'm going to use a Lame pure pigment powder, and it's a metallic gold, kind of greenish gold, oriental gold. And I'm just going to see, I have it right on my flat brush, and I'm just going to work that in. Now this is really super loose powder, and it's beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous, but it looks like melted gold on the lid. Literally, it is so pretty and light. When it hits it beautifully, it's unbelievable what it does. So you can find pure pigment shadows at your pro stores, and you can use the cream, and I know like Makeup Forever and certain companies make it, but I think that, for me, I can't tell you how to use it. This is just me. I like working it with the powder, because the powder definitely gives me a little bit more freedom to mix, and to add and to use on different various things. You can even mix this with, like, because it's pure pigment, you can mix this with like lip gloss or nail polish, clear nail polish, clear lip gloss, and you can create your own color. So pure pigments are really a great thing to have in your kit, because you can definitely do different things with it, but certainly the look that you get, the power and the payout you get with pure pigment is very powerful. See how that gold is just, if I would have put that on straight on to just the straight skin color, it would have turned out a little bit more greenish color, but because I added the browns and the blacks underneath, it's really creating a much more like a toasty gold color, which is really nice, and it gives it some dimension. And so see, I'm just gonna go right in there, and oh, I can't wait for you guys to see the rest, because it's really, 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 really beautiful. And then I'm going to just let that sit in. You gotta make sure you let pigment sit, because pigment is very, very, very delicate. So I'm taking my rounded blending brush, and I'm just gonna take and clean that right into the inner corners of the crease line. And now I'm just going to just let that sit for a couple of seconds, just to let it sit. You always have to have patience. Makeup is really about letting things kind of develop as you put it on too. And you could see how the pigment is starting to sink into the eyes. And that is really, really important. So I'm going to take now my rounded, elongated dome brush, and I'm just putting a little more toasty brown, kind of coppery brown, right on in the crease. Okay, so that way you're building. And then I'm going to go back with the highlighter, and I'm going to just re-blend everything. And it's all about blending, all about layering and blending, layering and blending. This really packs a punch, and we're almost there. We're getting there. But look how pretty that is. I just love this look. Like I said, it's not an easy look, but it's such a great look, and it looks beautiful. So I really want to just bring some emphasis on the brow bone. And the pearl really complements the gold and gives it some really intense contrast. So I'm now going to just brush off the fallout, and I'm using a little touch lighter translucent powder because I really want to emphasize more of a pale finish, and I'm using matte colors on the skin. I don't want the skin to have any glow because the eyes have the glow. So it's really important that the eyes are really kind of illuminescent, but the skin should be very, very matte. Okay, so now I'm going to go right underneath that black with a little bit of a gold taupe. Oh, there you go, see? And I'm just using a little pointed brush, and I'm just going to go right underneath with the gold taupey color. It's like a sandy brownish gold. Okay, and see how it just softens that black, but it just gives it a little bit more support, and it pulls it all together. So we're almost there, guys. It's the blush. I'm going to give you a little pre-tease. The blush is really cool. This is what I think really makes the look. It pulls it together even more, is the way you put the blush. The blush really has a certain kind of way of creating this look. It's not your conventional way of putting blush on. I'm just warning you. And this will take practice, because if you do it the wrong way, it will look horrible. So I'm going to get my complexion brush, and I'm just going to blend everything out. Just blend everything out. Look how pretty that looks. And yet the eyes aren't finished, okay? Because it really, really needs to set in, but it's gonna look so cool in a minute. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna clean a little bit, and just with my dampen blender sponge beauty blender, I'm just gonna give it a little bit more base, just a touch. I know I just set it up powder, but this is gonna help with the blush. Now watch how I do this. This is very, very important, because this is really important. You're not going to put the blush where you normally put the blush. You're going to actually put the blush around, and I'm using super uber pink. And I'm going right on the edge of the outer corners of the eyes, and just literally on the top part of the apples, and pulling that in right into the temples. And see how I'm just going. Now, as you see this, you're probably going, oh my god, it looks like she's bruised. But watch, it's going to work. And this is the technique. And this is something that does take a lot of practice. Now, just see how you just got to build and blend, build and blend, build and blend. And then you're going to put that in. Now, see, these are some of the really tricky design work that I teach my students. So if you are really interested in learning these techniques and much more others, you can contact MKC Beauty Academy. You can go to my site, www.mkcbeautyacademy.com, and I'll put the link on the video as well. Or you could also go, if you can't come to my school in Hollywood, in Los Angeles, you can also take my online training program, and that's still at the mkcbeautyacademy.com site, and you can just click on the online. It's a really, really great alternative. I mean, there's nothing like coming and getting hands-on training, and I will kick your butt to make sure you do amazing work. Go check out my alumni's and see what kind of work they're doing. I have students that are working with Vogue and Bazaar, and just 2 years after they graduate. That's amazing. Many of them are working with celebrities. The results of my training is very high. So, I want you guys to definitely, if you're serious about this, definitely, you know, I mean, you can keep watching these. I will do it, but there's nothing like coming to school and really getting the proper training. Okay, so now I'm just going to go back with the black and really pack a punch. Okay, because I'm just going to now go over everything now that everything's setting in. And I'm just going to really bring the eyes out. I want to really give them a little bit of exotic kind of that Asian feel to it. So now by putting this really black eye, it really creates that mystery, and it really closes the eyes. Remember, dark closes in, light pulls out. So with the black liner, when you use eyeliner really close into the waterline, it really closes the eyes in, which creates that kind of Asian, you know, provocative feel to it. So see, I'm not doing anything different. I'm just kind of going right into what I did, but now I'm just going to go over it. So it just really packs punch. See how it just, from that eye to the other eye, you can see how it's really, really, you know, it really creates the intensity. And with gel liner, you make sure that, you know, it smudges easy, so make sure that they don't open their eyes too fast. And I'm going to set this too, so that way when she does open her eyes, it doesn't just like stain. But see, just go right there. And this is such a great look. I love this look. I love, love, love this look. And you can wear this. I mean, it's not someone who's used to not wearing any makeup, but you can definitely wear this to a cocktail party, to a nice gala, runway, red carpet. You can do this, you know, you can totally, if you don't go to those kind of places, just wear it and you know, wear it with an attitude and wear it with the right clothes for sure. Black, you know, a cute black dress. I mean, this look will work. And wait till you see the lips, because the lips really make it really beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to really, really define the eyebrows. You have to have stronger eyebrows with this, for sure. I'm going to use a little bit of fallout powder here, because I want to really, I'm using powder on the eyebrows. I prefer using powder rather than pencils or creams, because it goes right onto the skin, but it also has the versatility where you can really blend it into the hair of the brows. And watch, after I do this, I'm going to blend it in with my brow brush, and it really does create a natural effect, even though it's really, you know, painted on in that way. See, so just blend that in, and that just creates a real natural effect. So look at how that's really pulling together now. Just by doing that, look at how that just pulls it together. Unbelievable. So I'm going to just do the same thing on the other eye, and I really want to you know, let you know how beautiful, by just the simple things that you do, how beautiful the effect will be. And so that way, the detailing in this is so important. When you're doing this level of application, you cannot go willy-nilly with everything. You really have to go so step by step, and you have to have a vision. And you can't just put this look on someone without even knowing the shape of the eyes, the shape of the face, and knowing how to architect this application onto their face. Because if you don't put it on right, it will make them look horrible. Trust me. This is a very complicated look, and you gotta really make sure that it is used appropriately. Everyone has a different shape face. Like Karina here has a very oval face, and it's like a square oval. And so she has good dimensions, but you know, take someone with round or someone with really super long. You have to be careful. You really do. You really have to be careful. You know, heart-shaped face would look great with this look too. An oval and heart-shaped face looks really great with this look. And look at that. Look at how it's all coming together. And now I'm just getting my standard powder brush and I'm just blending it in. I'm going to add a little bit more color, right? And just softening it and just going right on around. This is, to me, this is such a cool technique for the blush, for sure. It's so it definitely creates that oriental feel. And I know they say don't use oriental because it's not PC, but it is really that oriental kind of 1920s, kind of 19, you know, early 1930s, late 1920s feel. Um, if you want to really get inspired by some looks, definitely go and watch some old movies from those eras, and you'll get so inspired by the clothes, by the looks, by everything. And this is how you really create some great design work, you know. So definitely I encourage you. Right now there's so much stuff on TV and so much stuff, you know, all around that everyone doesn't have the, well, they have access, but they don't look at the stuff we've done in the past. And I can tell you, working on big fashion shows and magazine work, and when I have these pre-production meetings with the editors, I mean, all we do is talk about old films and artists from the past, and we come up with our ideas, and we also talk about current history and current trends, and we try to meld them together. And that's really how we get our inspiration, you know. So, you know, you got to really be well versed with your referencing, and you know, and you have to look at other people's work too and get inspired. Not copy, you got to get inspired. Look at how the mascara just, I mean, that just really, 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 everything just is starting to really complete itself, which is so pretty. And I'm using super, super black mascara. And I'm really emphasizing, you know, the length of the lashes. And Karina has beautiful natural lashes, so I didn't put any lashes on her because she doesn't need it. But like if you have somebody or yourself is a little bit lash challenged, then use some individuals. You can use a strip lash, but be careful not to make it look so. I like the lashes to have a natural feel to this. Otherwise, it can look really costumey. And so I want you guys to create a very long, lush lash look without having it look fake. That's the key thing. So my thing is I would use extra long individuals. Yes, it takes more time, but the payout of the look is so much more. It's so pretty. So I'm just going to go right in the corner with the black, and I'm just going to pull that in. Watch what happens. It just, because you know, you really want the eyes to really have that Asian feel. So I'm going to really go and darken in the inner parts. And look at that. Look how pretty that is. Okay, the lips, girls and guys, it is the whole pièce de résistance, if you will. This is, it's kind of like a winey, oxbloody blend. I'm using a touch of oxblood with a little bit of wine, like burgundy. And I'm just mixing my own color. But it really does pack a huge punch with the effect, with using a very sexy red deep lip. And I want you guys to all understand that you can do whatever you want. There's no rules, but using this color really does have such a nice effect. It highlights the cheeks, it complements the eyes, and it actually makes it look more wearable. Now on the Marc Jacobs Runway, this is what I did a little bit different. He used very dark, kind of like plum color, which is beautiful too, for sure. But I really wanted to make this a little more wearable, like so you can actually wear it out. And because sometimes if you look at runway looks, they tend to be a little bit more theatrical. So what I did was I took the theatrical look that got me very inspired, and I just made it a little bit more wearable, so a little bit more pret-a-porter. So I took a little bit of haute couture and made it a little more pret-a-porter without taking away the couture, if that makes any sense. And like I could see, definitely celebrities doing this look for sure, like Katy Perry, Gwen Stefani. I mean, it's definitely a look that you definitely will see on the red carpet, wearing just a beautiful gown, and you could definitely pull this off. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous look. I feel that one thing is that makeup should be expressing the character of who you are. And this is something that, and I think we've been doing so much standard smoky eye looks. And of course, granted, I do love it, but I think it's nice to have something that gives you a little bit more outside of the box with the smoky eye version. This is, yes, considered a smoky eye type of look, but it's a different type of look, so it has a specific look. I mean, the same structure of a smoky eye is still applied. There's so many different types of smoky eye that you can do, but at the same time, this is a very specific application. I have Karina's neck really pulled out because I'm really using freestyle hand with the red, and it's really hard to do red lipstick without making sure the lips are not, even and straight, and the model has to stay really firm and not move around and jiggle her lips or anything. But look how pretty that looks to me. I'm going to have her turn around in a minute. And I really want to emphasize the Cupid's bow with this. That's what creates that kind of 1920s, 30s feel to this, because of the lips having that rounded Cupid's bow. And in the 30s and 20s, they used that as kind of their signature look of that era. And so I'm just going into the final finish. Lipstick, practice, 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 everyone. Practice makes perfect. You want flawless, beautiful lines. You don't want any unevenness. You want to make sure everything looks balanced and clean. You want to make it look picture perfect, and that's really what MKC Beauty Academy and my technique is really all about. High definition, picture perfect makeup. And I want you to be able to do makeup where you don't have to rely on Photoshop. I want it to look like it's photoshopped. Many people ask if my work is airbrushed, and that's because I don't use I use the high definition technique. I do airbrush it. I'm actually a master airbrusher, but to me it's like if you can do this by freehand and have people fooled thinking that you use other modalities, then you got your technique down. So if you're into this and you want to really get great, this is definitely the technique you want to learn, and it's definitely going to help you. You can take this to any place in the world and work, and you will get the first calls for all the big jobs if you know how to do this technique. So yeah, I'm here at the final and finish. Definitely check out my website, mkcbeautyacademy.com, if you're interested in learning and training. We do private sessions as well. We have online training, or really will customize your training plan based on your needs. And it's really flexible. Like I said, if you can't come to Hollywood and you want to take the online training, it's also a great way to learn. But I'll be honest with you guys, doing these tutorials are fun, but there's nothing compared to coming in and learning hands-on. I mean, this is a great inspiration, and I'm going to definitely keep doing them. But if you really are serious about this as a career, I highly recommend you get properly trained, and you will get certified. So here we are. We're almost done. I'm so excited. Oh my God, this look I love this. When I saw it, I just loved it, and I thought, oh my God, I cannot wait to share it with you all, and hopefully you guys will get inspired. And so this is my uber favorite runway look of the season. And I'm just putting a little bit more, because see how the makeup just absorbed it? And I'm just putting a little bit more of the pink right there. It's like a reddish pink, just like the lips. And there we go. See how beautiful that is? I'm just going to blend that all in together and clean that up. And we're almost there, guys. Look at that. The gold eyes, the black eyeliner, the pink, everything. There we go. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to come up with some more looks. Please comment. Please subscribe. And I will see you soon. And do this look and practice, guys. Practice, practice, practice. Please. This is fun. And I love it. And I'm excited. And I'm inspired. And I can't wait to do my next look. So I'll see you guys soon. Like I said, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I will see you at the next tutorial.